Hello children, in today's class we are going to learn a new topic. Okay. So before learning the topic, let me ask you a question. Okay. See children, if I had shown you, see, you can see a numbers, right? See 1, a bar and then 2. So what will you call this as? Okay, we will call this as fraction, right? So this is a fraction. We know this, right? This is a fraction. See, if you are having a chocolate, if you are having a 5-star, just assume this as a 5-star, see, you had given the half of the chocolate to your friend, you had given the half of the chocolate to your friend. So, what will you say this? See, now you had given 1 by 2, So, out of these two portions, you had given one portion, 1/2 to your friend. So, that you are calling it as 1 upon 2. So, we can call it as 1 upon 2, 1 divided by 2 or 1 by 2. So, it is called as fraction, right? Is it clear children? So, in a fraction, the number which is in the top is called numerator, The number which is in the bottom is called denominator, right? We have learnt all these in the smaller classes, right? So, this is a fraction, If you are having a numerator and denominator means we can call it as a fraction, See, simply if you are having a full, if you are having a piece of bread, See, if you had given, you are just dividing that bread to 4 equal parts, You are dividing that bread into 4 equal parts and you are sharing, 3, You are just giving 3 part of this to your friend, You had given 3 parts, This is the first part, this is the second part and this is the third part, So, you had given. So, you have divided these bread into 4 equal parts, right? So, we can write that in the denominator, So, you are dividing this bread into 4 equal parts. You should write that 4 in the denominator, So, how many pieces you are going to give to your friend? 3 parts you are going to give to your friend, right? So, that you should write that in the numerator. Is it clear children? So, this is called as fraction, But in this class, we are going to learn about ratio and proportion. We can also write the ratio as like as fraction. So let us see that. See children, if you are having 5 markers, See, I'm having 5 markers, I need to share these 5 among 2 members, Let me assume that 2 members as Tom and Jim, Let us assume that 2 persons as Tom and Jim. Children, see, I am going to share these 5 markers to these 2 persons, Tom and Jim, So, I am going to give 3 markers to Tom and 2 markers to Jim, I am going to share 3 markers to Tom and 2 markers to Jim. So, how can you write? So, we can write it as 3:2, 3:2, children. So, I had given 3 markers to Tom and 2 markers to Jim, so that I had written it as 3:2, We can also write this as 3 upon 2, or else 3 by 2, so it is in the form of fraction, like it seems as like fraction, but is this 3 upon 2 or is 3:2 and the fraction are same? Is it exactly a fraction? No, right? See, so in fraction what we said? See, if you are having a piece of bread, so if you are dividing that bread into 4 equal parts, so what will you say? The 4 parts, the total parts you will write in the denominator, that is 4, and if you are giving 3 parts to your friend means we will write that in the numerator, right? But here we are said we are just having 5 markers and we are sharing this 3 to Tom and 2 to gym. So how will you say? How will you write this in fraction? So out of 5, okay, out of 5, so we will write it as out of 5, we had given 3 to Tom, okay, we can write it as 3 upon 5 as fraction and here 2 upon 5 as fraction. Now see, is these two are same? No, right? So ratio is not a fraction, but it just looks as like fraction, okay, ratio. So it is a ratio, right? It is a ratio, fraction ஒரே மாதிரி இருக்கும், but it is not as fraction. Okay, children? So now we are going to learn clearly about this ratio and proportion. Okay, ratio and proportion. Okay, children? See, you may have seen your mother's cooking, right? See, if your mother is making biryani, okay, see, if she had taken a bowl of rice, okay, if she had taken 1 cup of rice, okay, she will pour 2 tumblers of water, okay. So if she had taken 1 cup of rice, she will pour 2 cups of water. Okay, so we can write it as 1:2, okay, or else 1 upon 2, okay. So it is called as ratio, okay, 1:2 is the ratio, okay, children. So if she had taken for 1 cup of rice, if she had poured 2 cups of water means, so we can call it as ratio, that is 1:2, okay. We can also write as 1/2, okay, children. And let us see about proportion, okay. Okay, now see, children, I am having 10 markers with me, okay. So at the first what we said, we had distributed, we have shared 3 markers to Tom, right? So let me share 3 markers to Tom and again 2 markers to Jim, okay. So again I am having 5 more markers. I'm going to do the same again, okay. I'm just going to give again the 3 markers to Tom, okay, and 2 markers to Jim, okay. Now how many markers is this Tom having? How many markers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So totally 6 markers. So we can write it as 6:2. So here how many markers? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 markers. So that we can write 6:4. Okay, we can write it as 6:4. So whether these two are same? Yeah, it is same, right? We can also write, already I have said you, right? So we can write this as 3/2. Okay, 3 divided by 2 we can write. Is it? Here, how will you write? 6 divided by 4. Okay, 6/4 we can write. Now, can we divide this? So we can divided by 2. Okay, we are going to divide 2 in the numerator as well as in the denominator. Okay, so what will you get? Okay, we are going to cut this by 2 table. Okay, so what will you get? 2 2s are 4 and 3 2s are 6. Okay, by using the same table we are going to say and cut these two. Okay, numerator as well as the denominator. Okay, so say 2 table, 2 2s are 4 and 3 2s are 6. So what we got? 3 and 2, right? So we can write it as 3/2. So we can write these as 3:2, right? We can write this as 3:2, the children. So these two are same, okay. So that we can write it as, okay. So we can write this as 3:2, okay. Again we need to put, okay, 4 dots, that is called proportion, okay. Again we can write 6:4. So this is called proportion, okay. 3:2 is to 6:4, okay, that is called proportion. Is it clear, children? So this is called proportion, okay. Is it clear, children? And see, in this case, so how will you write the proportion? See, if your mother had taken for 1 cup of rice, if she had poured 2 cup of water, that is called ratio, okay. So if in your house, okay, 2 or 3 more guests came, okay. So now you need to put more rice and you need to pour more water. So how will you pour? ஸோ உங்கள் வீட்டில் கெஸ்ட் வந்துட்டாங்க, யூ கோயிங் டு மேக் மோர் பிரியாணி. ஓகே, அந்த கெஸ்ட்டுக்கும் கொடுக்கணும் இல்லையா? ஸோ தட் யூ ஆர் ஜஸ்ட் ப்ரிப்பேரிங் some more large amount of biryani. Okay, so how will you increase that amount? So your mother had said, so if you are taking 1 cup of rice, you need to pour 2 cups of water. So how will you increase this ratio? See, if you are taking 2 cups of rice, okay, see, if you are taking 2 cups of rice, you need to pour 4 cups of water. Okay, so simply you are doubling, right? So here 1 cup, so that here 2 cups of rice. Okay, so 1 cup of water, rice means we need to pour 2 cups of water. Here 2 cups of rice means we are pouring 4 cups of water, right? See, if you are simplifying this, how will you simplify? 2 upon 4, we can write this as 2 upon 4, right? So how will you simplify? We can cut this by 2 table. Say 2 table, 1 2 is 2 and 2 2s are 4, right? 1 2 is 2 and 2 2s are 4. We got the same answer now, right? 1 upon 2. 1 by 2 we got, right? 1 by 2 we got. So we are calling it as proportion. How will you write the proportion? We can write this proportion as 1:2 is proportion to 2:4. Okay, 1:2 is proportional to 2:4. Is it clear, children? So this is called as proportion. Okay, see, we have said this one as ratio, right? So 3:2. Can we write this 3:2 as 2:3? No, we should not write. Okay, we should not change the order of this ratio. Okay, in ratio and also proportion, you should not change the order. That is wrong. Okay, children, is it clear? Okay, so these are all about ratio and proportion. This is the simple introduction about this ratio and proportion. Let us see what is given in your book. Okay, children? Okay, first of all, let us see about this ratio clearly. Okay, see, a ratio is a comparison of 2 quantities of same kind. Okay, children? A ratio is a comparison of 2 quantities of same kind. So how will you say? See, if you are comparing okay, your height and your friend's height. Okay, see, simply we can say we are just comparing the Tom's height and Jim's height. Okay, so height. Okay, so height of Tom is okay 150 centimeter. Okay, height of Jim is 155 centimeter. Okay, see, we are just comparing 2 quantities of same kind, right? See, here we are comparing the height. Okay, so here we are comparing the height of Tom and here we are comparing the height of Jim. Okay, it is in centimeter and it is also in centimeter. Now we can write this in ratio. Okay, so how will you write? We should not include the centimeter and all. We can simply write it as 150 is to 155. Okay, 150 is to 155. Is it clear, children? So this is called as ratio. See, if you are comparing the weights, okay, if you are comparing the weights of Tom and Jim, how will you compare? We should compare the weight of Tom and weight of Jim. Okay, we should not compare the weight of Tom and height of Jim. Okay, if you are comparing the weight, you should compare the weight of both the persons. Okay, if you are comparing the height, you should compare the weight of 2 persons. Okay, children, if you are comparing the weight, you should compare the weight of 2 persons. That we are saying it as a ratio is the comparison of 2 quantities of same kind. Okay, it should be in the same kind. Okay, if you are comparing the height means you should compare the height of both the persons. Okay, if you are comparing the weight, you should compare the weight of both the persons. That is called as ratio. Okay, while writing the ratio, you should not write this centimeter, kg and all, you should not write. Okay, so how will you change this in simplest form? We can write this ratio in fraction, right? So how will you write this in fraction? 150 by 155. Okay, 150 by 155. Okay, children, can we make this in simplest form? How will you make this in simplest form? We can see Here we are having 0, here we are having 5. So can we use 5 table? Okay, let us use 5 table to make this in simplest form. Okay, see we can divide 5 in the numerator as well as in the denominator. Okay, so you know division, right? You can also divide. Okay, so how will you divide 150 and 5? Okay, so how will you divide, say 5 table? 1 5 is 5, 2 5 are 10, 3 5 is 15. Okay, 3 5 is 15. So we can write 3 5 is 15. Now subtract it. 15 minus 15, 0. Okay, now bring down the 0, 0. So that we can put 0 in the quotient also. So what we are getting? 30. Okay, we got 30 in the numerator. Okay, again we can divide this 155 divided by 5. So how will you divide? Again let us divide. Okay, so 155 divided by 5. Now divide. Now say 3 5s are 15. Okay, 3 5s are 15. So 15 minus 15, 0. Right? Now bring down this 5. 5. Now say 5 table. 1 5 is 5. Okay, now put 1 in the quotient and 5 in this. Okay, 5 in this place. So 5 minus 5, what will you get? 0. So what is the answer? 31. Okay, so how will you write this as ratio? We can write it as 30 is to 31. Okay, 30 is to 31. So this is called as ratio. Okay children, we need to make the ratio in the simplest form. Okay, we should write the ratios in simplest form. Okay children, is it clear? We can also, if you know to cut and simplify means, you can also cut and simplify. Okay, but what is the condition? If you are using 5 table means you should use 5 in the numerator as well as in the denominator. Okay, if you are going to cut with 5 table in the numerator, you should cut with the same table in the denominator. Is it clear children? So this is called ratio. So what does mean by ratio? A ratio is a comparison of two quantities of same kind. Okay, two quantities of same kind. Okay, and what is the thing we have learned? So we will use ratio. Okay, we'll say it as is to. Okay, 150 is to 155. Okay, 150 is to 155. Okay, we'll put this symbol. This is called ratio. Okay, and we can write this ratio as fraction. Okay, we can write the ratio as fraction, and also we need to bring down this ratio in the simplest form. Okay, we got the simplest form, right? So 30 is to 31 is the simplest form, right? So we need to bring down the ratios in simplest form. Okay children, so we should write the ratios in the form of A is to B. Okay, so 150 is A, 155 is B. Okay, see here 30 is A and 31 is B, right? So that we are just writing ratio in the form of A is to B. Is it clear children? Okay. Okay children, take your classwork notebook. Put today's date. Okay, write the heading chapter 2 ratio and proportion. Children, use only ink pens. Okay, use only ink pens to write in the classwork. Okay, write the heading neatly. Write chapter 2. Write the heading as ratio and proportion. Okay, let us do the first example sum. Okay. Okay, write this question in your classwork notebook. Example 3.1. Okay, read the question children. Simplify the ratio 20 is to 5. Okay, simplify the ratio 20 is to 5. Okay, already we have said, right? We need to bring the ratio in simplest form. Okay, so first of all, we are going to write this ratio in the form of fraction. Okay children, so how will you write? So we can write it as 20 upon 5. Okay, 20 by 5. Okay, we can write like this, right? See, what is the question we are having? 20 is to 5. Okay, we can write that 20 is to 5 as 20 by 5. Okay, now we got 20 by 5. So what is the next step we can do? We need to divide with the same table in the numerator as well as in the denominator. Okay, children. So now what we can do? So 20 divided by 2. Okay, 20 by 2 divided by, okay, we're going to divide the same number in the numerator as well as in the denominator. Okay, see here we are having 5 and here we are having 0. Okay, so these two are the multiples of 5, right? So that we are going to put 5 in the numerator and 5 in the denominator. Okay, children, now can we divide? See, if you are dividing 20, okay, so 20 is the dividend and 5 is the divisor. Okay, now divide. Now say 5 table. 1 5 is 5, 2 5s are 10, 3 5s are 15, 4 5s are 20, right? Now we got 20. So put 4 in the quotient and 20 here. Okay, now divide. Subtract 0 minus 0. 0. 2 minus 2, 0. So what is the answer we are getting? 4. Okay. Now we should put 4 in the numerator. Okay. So 4 in the numerator. Now 5 divided by 5, what will you get? Now divide 5. Okay. So 5. Put 5 in the dividend and 5 in the divisor. Now say 5 table. 1 5 is 5, right? So put 1 in the quotient and 5 here. So what we are getting? 5 minus 5? 0. Okay, children. So what is the answer? 1. So what we got? 4 is to 1 is the answer. So how will you write? We can write it as 4 is to 1. Okay. We can write it as 4 is to 1. Is it clear, children? Okay. Copy this in your classwork notebook. So what is the first step we did? We have returned the ratio in the form of fraction. Okay. So 20 is to 5. We have returned that as 20 by 5. Okay. So now what is the second step? We need to divide with the same table in the numerator as well as in the denominator. So see this 0 and 5. Okay. We are having 0 in the ones place and 5 in the ones place. So that these two are the multiples of 5. Okay. So that we are just dividing with that number 5 in the numerator as well as in the denominator. So now we got the answer. That is 4 is to 4 upon 1. Okay. 4 by 1 we can write it as 4 is to 1. Okay, children. Okay. So now let us see the second question. Okay. Example 3.2. Okay. Let me rub this. Okay, let us see example 3.2. Children, write this question in your classwork notebook. Okay, example 3.2. Okay, read the question. Find the ratio of 500 gram to 250 gram. See, it is in gram and this one is also in gram. So what we have learned about ratio? Ratio is a comparison of two quantities with same kind, right? So both these terms are gram, right? So both these terms are gram. So now we are going to find the ratio for this. Okay. So both these are in the same kind, that is gram. Okay. So that we can find the ratio. Okay, children. So what is given? 500 gram to 250 gram. Okay, 500 gram to 250 gram. So how will you write? How can you change this into ratio? Simply we can remove that gram and we can write in the form of ratio. Okay, children. We can write it as 500. Okay, we are just removing this gram and we are just putting that is 2. Okay, ratio symbol is 2. Okay, so 500 is 2. Here we are having 250 as a second term, right? So 250. Okay, 500 is to 250. Okay, children, simply we had removed this grams. Okay, so simply we had returned the same terms as 500 is to 250 as in the ratio. Is it clear, children? And then what we need to do? We need to write in the form of fraction, right? So we can write this as 500 by 250. Okay, 500 by 250, right? So we can write the ratio in the form of fraction, right? So that we had written this as 500 by 250. Okay, children. Now what we need to do as the next step? We need to divide with the same table in the numerator as well as in the denominator. Is it, children? So now we can divide. Okay. Okay, now it is divide these two, numerator and denominator, with the same table. Okay, children. Now write 500. Okay, 250. Okay, we are going to divide with the same table in the numerator and also in the denominator. Okay, children. See, here we are having 0 and in the denominator also we are having 0 in the units place. So that what we can do? Can we divide by 10? Okay, we can divide by 10 in the numerator as well as in the denominator. Okay, children. Now let us divide. Okay, 500 divided by 10, right? So now let me divide it here. Okay, 500 divided by 10. Okay, now say 10 table. 1 10 is 10, 2 10s are 20, 3 10s are 30, 4 10s are 40 and 5 10s are 50, right? So we are just taking 50, 5 10s are 50. Okay, now subtract it. 0 minus 0, 0. 5 minus 5, 0. Okay, now bring down the 0. Now we got 3 zeros. So what we can do? We can't do anything. So that simply we need to put 1 0 in the quotient. Okay, so we got 50 as the answer. Okay, write 50 in the answer. 50 in the numerator. Okay, so now we are going to do this one. 250 divided by 10. Okay, now divide. So let me divide it here. Okay, 250 is the dividend and 10 is the divisor. Okay, now say 10 table. 1 10 is 10, 2 10s are 20, right? 2 10s are 20. Okay, now put 2 in the quotient and put 20 here. Okay, children. So can you remember division? So what we need to check? We need to get the same number 25. Okay, we need to get the same number 25 or else we need to get a number nearly less than 25. Okay, நம்ம 10 டேபிளில் 25 வருதான்னு பார்க்கணும். இல்லை அப்படின்னா 25 ஓட கொஞ்சம் லெஸ்ஸாக இருக்க நம்பர் எடுக்கலாம். ஓகே, ஸோ now we got 2 10s are 20. Okay, we will not get 25 in 10 table, so that we are just choosing 2 10s are 20. So now subtract it. 5 minus 0, 5. Okay, 2 minus 2, 0. Okay, now bring down the 0. Now we got 50. Okay, now say 10 table. 1 10 is 10, 2 10s are 20, 3 10s are 30, 4 10s are 40, 5 10s are 50, right? Just put 5 in the quotient and 50 here. Okay, now subtract it. 0 minus 0, 0. 5 minus 5, 0. Okay, so what we got? We got 25 as the answer. Now put 25. Now can we simplify this in the same table? Yeah, we can simplify, right? If we had chose 25 table means we can cut this, right? So can we divide this by 25? Okay, let us divide this by 25. What is our condition? We need to find the ratio in the simplest form. Simplest form. We should have the ratio in the simplest form. Okay, here we can also make this one in simplest form, so that we are just going to divide it again. Okay, so now divided by 25. Okay, so why we are choosing 25? Here we are having 25, here we are having 50. So 125 is 25, 225 is a 50, right? So that we can divide it very easily. So that we are going to divide it by 25. Okay, children. Now what will you get as the answer? Already I have said you, right? 25 divided by 25, what will you get? 1. Okay, 25 divided by 25, we will get 1. Okay, if you are dividing the same number, okay, as a divisor and also the dividend means we will get answer 1. Okay, so 50 divided by 25, we will get 2, right? 125 is 25, 2 25s are 50. So that the answer is 2 by 1. So what is the answer? We can write it as 2 is to 1. Okay, 2 is to 1. Is it clear, children? Yeah, you can copy this in your notebook. Okay. Okay, children. So what we did in this sum? Okay, what is given first? Find the ratio of 500 gram to 250 gram is given, right? So first of all, what we need to do? We need to write the same terms, 500 gram to 250 gram. Okay, so how can you write this in ratio? We need to, first of all, we need to check whether these two quantities are of in the same kind or not. Okay, see, the first term is in gram and second term is also in gram, so that we can write in ratio. So just remove that grams and write in the form of ratio. Okay, 500 is to 250. Okay, children. So now we can write the ratio in the form of fraction, right? So that we have written this ratio in the form of fraction, that is 500 by 250. Okay, children. And what is the next step we are going to do? We need to check whether whether the units place. Okay, see here in units place 0 and here also 0. So what we need to do? We need to divide the same number in the numerator as well as in the denominator. Okay, so if you are dividing this 500 divided by 10, what will you get? We got 50, so that we need to write 50. 250 divided by 10, what will you get? 25. Okay, so we got 50 divided by 25. Okay, again we can also make this 50 and 25 in the simplest form. So how will you make? If you are dividing with 25 means we can change this in simplest form. Okay, so we are going to divide by 25. Okay, so now if you are dividing with 25, so what will you get? So we can also do, okay, see, if you are having 50, okay, divisor is 25, so 125 is 25, 2 25s are 50. Okay, put 2 in the quotient, 50 here. So 50 minus 50, what will you get? 50 minus 50, 0, right? 50 minus 50, 0. So what is the answer? 2 is the answer. Okay, children. And if you are dividing 25 as the divider and 25 as the divisor, so what will you get? 125 is 25. So 25 minus 25 is 0. So what is the answer? 1. So we got 2 by 1. So we can write this the ratio as 2 is to 1. Is it clear, children? Yeah, copy this in your classwork notebook. Okay, children, write the heading exercise 3.1. Okay, write exercise 3.1 in your classwork notebook. Write the third question. Okay, read the question. Find the simplified form of following ratios. Okay, find the simplified form of following ratios. Okay, children, so write the second question. Okay, 32 is to 24. Okay, 32 is to 24. So how will you make this in a simplified form? First of all, what we need to do? We need to write the ratio in the form of fraction. Okay, so now let us write. So we are having 32 is to 24, right? We are having 32 is to 24. So we can write this as 32 by 24. Okay, 32 by 24. Okay, children, now check the units place. Okay, here we are having 2 and here we are having 4. So it is the multiple of 2, right? It is a multiple of 2. So we are going to divide 2 in the numerator as well as in the denominator. Okay, children? So now we are going to divide. So 32 upon 24. Okay, 32 by 24 divided by 2 and 2. Okay, we need to divide 2 in the numerator as well as in the denominator. Okay, children? Now can we divide? See, we are having 32, right? So 32 is the dividend and 2 is the divisor. Okay, now let us divide. So say 2 table, 1, 2 is 2. Here we are having 3, right? So can we say 1, 2 is 2? 1, 2 is 2. Now subtract it. 3 minus 2, 1. Okay, so now bring down the second term, 12. Okay, now say 2 table. 1, 2 is 2. 2 2s are 4. 3 2s are 6. 4 2s are 8. 5 2s are 10. 6 2s are 12. Okay, so we need to get the same number 12, or else we can get the number nearly less than 12. Okay, 12 இருக்குதான் பார்க்கணும் 2 டேபிளில். இல்லை அப்படின்னா 12 இல்லைன்னா you should get the nearest smaller number. Okay, children? So now we are having 12 in 2 table. So that we are just writing, okay, 6 2s are 12, right? So we should put 6 in the quotient and 12 here. Okay, so now subtract it. 12 minus 12, what will you get? 0. Okay, so what is the answer? 16 is the answer. So now put 6 in the quotient. Okay, 6 in the numerator. Okay, and here we are having 24 divided by 2, right? So now let us divide this 24. Okay, can we divide it here? Okay, so 24 divided by 2. Okay, now divide. Say 2 table. Okay, see here we are having 24, right? Let me take 2. So 1 2 is 2, right? So just put 1 in the quotient and 2 here. Okay, 1 2 is 2. Okay, now subtract it. 2 minus 2, 0. Okay, now bring down this 4. Now say 2 table. 1 2 is 2. 2 2s are 4. Okay, 2 2s are 4. We got 4. So put 2 2s are 4. Okay, so what is the answer? 4 minus 4, 0. So what we got? 12. Okay, so write the quotient 12 here. Now what we got? 6 and 12. Okay, so can we make this in simplest form? Yeah, right? So if we had said 6 table, 1 6 is 6, 2 6 are 12, right? So we can make this in simplest form. Okay, so if you know to cut this, okay, if you know to cut this in the same table, we can also cut. Okay, so how will you cut? So we can write 1 6 is 6, 2 6 are 12. Okay, 1 6 is 6, 2 6 are 12. So what is the answer? 1 upon, okay, 1 by 2 is the answer. Okay, so how will you write in the ratio? 1 is to 2. Okay, 1 is to 2 is the answer. Okay, children, copy this in your classwork notebook. Write step by step. Okay, don't write as like this. Okay, put equal to. Okay, put this equal to here. Okay, likewise write step by step. Okay, children, see, now we got 16 upon 12, right? 16 by 12. Now check the units place. Here we are having 6, here we are having 12. So both these numbers are the multiples of 2, right? Now again, can we use 2 table? Okay, so now divide by using 2 table in the numerator as well as in the denominator. Okay, so now divide. So let us divide. Okay, see, 16 is the dividend and 2 is the divisor. Okay, now divide. Say 2 table. 1 2 is 2. 2 2s are 4. 3 2s are 6. 4 2s are 8. 5 2s are 10. 6 2s are 12. 7 2s are 14. 8 2s are 16. Okay, 8 2s are 16. Okay, put 8 in the quotient and 16 here. Okay, now subtract it. 16 minus 16, what will you get? 0. Okay, so what is the answer? We got 8. Okay, we got 8 in the numerator and 12 divided by 2. Okay, let us divide. So 12 Okay, 12 is the dividend and 2 is the divisor. Okay, now say 2 table. 1, 2 is 2. 2 2s are 4. 3 2s are 6. 4 2s are 8. 5 2s are 10. 6 2s are 12. Okay, we got 12. So write 6. Okay, 6 2s are 12. Okay, now 12 minus 12, what will you get? 0. So we got 6 here. Okay, so 8 by 6. Okay, so now check, can we make this again in simplest form? Yeah, right, we can make this in simplest form. Again, we can also divide by 2. Okay, so we can also cut this. Okay, if you know to cut and make this in simplest form, we can also cut. So how will you cut? See, C8 and 6 are the multiples of 2, right? Say 2 table. 1 2 is 2. 2 2s are 4. 3 2s are 6, right? So cut this. Okay, 3 2s are 6. Okay, 3 2s are 6. Now 4 2s are 8. So what we got? What is the answer? 4 by 3. Okay, 4 by 3 is the answer. Okay, children, is it clear? So if you know to cut and make this in simplest form, you can write. Okay, children. So from the first step itself, you can also cut and write the next step. Okay, children, is it clear? So again, if you need to divide, no problem. You can also divide 2 in the numerator and also in the denominator. Okay, children. So cut பண்ணவே தெரியுது அப்படினா first stepல இருந்து cut பண்ணி answer எழுதலாம். Okay, simply we are just dividing by 2, right? We can also cut this by saying 2 table. Okay, children. So for the second step also you can cut and write. Okay, if you don't know to cut means you can also write divided by 2 in the next step also. In the step liyo nama divide by 2 எழுதலாமா? So how will you write? So we got 8 by 6, right? So we can make this in simplest form so that we can use divide 2. Okay, divided by 2. Okay, now what will you get? So 4 2s are 8 and 3 2s are 6. Okay, we got 4 by 3 as the answer. Okay, now how will you write the answer? Okay, how will you write in ratio? 4 is to 3. Okay, 4 is to 3 is the answer. Okay, children, copy this in your classwork notebook. Okay, children, let us do the next sum. Okay, so let me rub this one. Okay, if you didn't complete means just pause the video and write. Okay. Okay, children, see the next sum, 7 by 15. Write the question, 7 by 15. Okay, first of all, what we need to do? Okay, let us write 7 is to 15 is the question, right? 7 is to 15. So let us write 7 is to 15 is the question, right? So what is the next step we need to do? We need to write this ratio in the form of fraction. Okay, so we can write it as 7 by 15. Okay, 7 by 15. Okay, children, so what we can write in the next step? So we need to check the units place, right? See, here in units place we are having 7. Here in units place we are having 5. Okay, can we get these numbers in the same table? No, right? We can't get this number in the same table. So how will you write? How will you write the answer? Okay, see, can you say 7 table? 1 7 is 7, 2 7s are 14. We will not get the 14. Okay, 15 in the 7 table. Okay, and also we will not get 7 and 15 in the same table, right? So that what we can do? Simply we can write this in the ratio. Okay, 7 is to 15 is the answer. Okay, children, so first of all we need to write that ratio in the form of fraction, and we need to check whether we can make it into simplest form or not. Okay, if we can make that into simplest form, we can make and write in the simplest form. If not, we can write the same question as the answer. Okay, children, your copy is in your notebook. Okay, so same question is the answer. Okay, children. Why? What is the reason? Because the 7 and 15 will not come in the same table. So that the same question is the answer. Is it clear, children? Okay. Okay, that's all about today's class. Okay, let me give you today's homework. Children, we had completed sum number 2 and 3, right? So your homework is sum number 1, 4 and 5. Okay, 3 sums are your homework. Okay, children? Children, note today's homework. Okay, your homework is from page number 51. That is exercise 3.1. From the third question, first, fourth and fifth is your homework. Okay, children? Do your homework properly. Okay? Thank you.